You're welcome to another episode of OMG. Today I'm going corporate. Ladies, this is for you especially. The fashion blunders we commit in the corporate environment. I have with me my fashion icon as well. You're welcome.
Hello everyone, my name is Yetunde Titilaile Somifowe. Thank you.
MD of
Up to You Fashion World.
Don't ever forget that. Let's go corporate today. When we go to a corporate environment, we notice ladies in silvers. Talking about the fact that their legs ache and all that. Is this not a fashion blunder?
Yes, it is. It's not appropriate. Wearing slippers and open toes in the corporate industry, it's not called for. There are some mistakes we made. We're not allowed to wear like red shoes. We have in the fashion world, depending on the industry, but now more or less we have a specific aspect of how fit that's allowed in the corporate industry.
Let's take the industry. Let's take the banking industry for now. What will you advise the ladies working in a bank? They're kind of outwear, they're output. How does it
in the banking industry, they don't really need much of advice because each bank has their own rules and regulations that they follow. And I'm sure most especially in Nigeria, we notice that a lot of bankers, we see them in suits.
Yeah.
We see them in shoes.
Yeah.
They dress appropriately. Maybe at the end of the day, a lot of them gets tired, they put on their slippers and they wear home, which is allowed. In the banking industry, they're not allowed to put on open toes, colored shoes, sandals. They're limited to specific things that they're allowed to wear during business hours. When they're going home, it's allowed. They can put on the slippers.
Okay, you mentioned shoes that are not allowed in the banking industry. So what kind of shoes do you think will fit the suits they're mostly in?
It's cover shoe. We have tons of names and brands and styles of covered shoes that they can put on.
Really?
Yes.
I hope you can hear that. Cover shoes, ladies, if you're in the banking industry. So let's talk about agencies. Advertising agencies.
Depending on the agency.
Airports.
Depending on the agency. Some agencies are limited, they're very strict to the way their workers dress. But some, they're very flexible. They dress down, but dressing down not to the point that you look extremely casual. No.
Okay. So, let's talk about sleeveless. What do you think about it in the corporate world?
It's a no-go area.
Really?
In the corporate world?
Yeah.
It's a no-go area.
Really?
Yes. It's just like wearing a red shoe to the office.
That's a great fashion blunder. If you're just joining us, this is OMG. I'm your host, Princess Adams. And with me is the MD of Up to You Fashion World, Mrs. Yetunde Ilesomi for You're welcome.
Thank you.
She's been talking about fashion blunders in the corporate environment. Okay, let's talk about jewelries. What do you think?
In the corporate world, that's what we call moderacy with the jewelry. Because I noticed lately a lot of ladies out there, when you see them, they're wearing this pendant with a big cord to the office. It's
one of
not
those
allowed.
things.
Even, like for example, this type of earring I'm wearing, it's to the corporate world, it's way too much.
Okay.
It's way too much. Moderacy is very, very important in the corporate aspect. Because the way you dress, the way you've been approached.
You hear that, ladies? The way you dress, the way you be approached. Not as if you're going for a traditional wedding. Let's talk about a skirt suit. How long should that be? The length of it?
It doesn't necessarily have to be extremely long, but when you dress, you apply decency to your dressing. For example, if you're wearing a skirt suit, the skirt suit should be below your knee.
Below the knee?
Below the knee.
Why not above the knee? That means you can't pick up a pen. Anyway, what advice do you have generally for ladies in the corporate industry?
A lot of them know what they're doing, but a lot of them do I don't care little.
Which is bad.
And I think there's a lot of human resources in every industry that's always giving warnings.
Yeah.
They're always giving them warnings. But I'm sure when anybody that's going into the corporate world goes into the corporate world, there's rules and regulations that binds the offices. So when you're going into a particular industry, make sure you find out what the rules and the regulations is, what the mode of dressing is, what you think they expect you to look like. Because your customers are people that are looking at you every day. So you need to dress appropriately the way you've been advised to do so.
You've heard it, ladies. Your dressing tells a lot about you. I really want to thank you for coming on the show today.
Welcome.
We hope to see more of you talk about fashion, blonde.